We are talking about Quantum Leap, the 2022 variant, Season 1, Episode 4, titled A Decent in Proposal. That is a play on words off the movie Indecent Proposal, I'm assuming.
Yes, with Demi Moore and Woody Harrelson. And
yeah, you know,
that was actually a really good movie.
Yeah, great movie. Wrong actress, because I have zero attraction to Demi Moore. So if...
Wait, I'm sorry. You had to have attraction to Demi Moore at that time.
Nope, never did.
Okay, the butcher's wife. No,
nope. She her face reminds me of my half sister on my mom's side, and it just...
Oh, well then, yeah.
It just...
That obviously isn't going to work.
Makes everything gross.
Relation involved. No.
And then I watched G.I. Jane, and now it just didn't work. Nothing worked.
Well, G.I. Jane, it didn't work for anybody, but yeah.
So we are going to review Quantum Leap, A Decent Proposal, Episode 4. The way it works is pretty simple. We like something, we're going to give it an upvote. We dislike something, we're giving it a downvote. And at the end of the review, we're going to average those two numbers and come up with an official Popcast score that then you can then call your stockbroker and your crypto advisor and invest that review into like a Roth IRA.
Yes.
No, you can't do any of that.
No, you can't. And if you can, it'll just keep going down.
Yeah, we're gonna take this review average and we're gonna make it an NFT and we're gonna sell it for $100,000.
Those days are over.
All my buddies like a year ago that were telling me, bro, you got to make NFTs out of all your thumbnails and your videos. You'll make $1 million. I'm like, yeah, listen, I'm not going to do that. Like, why? It's the future. I'm like, it's certainly not the future. And even if I get some sucker to buy a thumbnail for some absorbent amount of money, I think that I have now ruined my karma for good.
Right. Yeah. We haven't quite reached idiocracy status. I mean, we're getting there, but at that point, maybe everyone will buy NFTs for no purpose.
Dude, and when the Star Trek NFTs came out, it was such an obvious cash grab. You can buy a Star Trek NFT where the AI, there's like artificial intelligence is going to give you your own ship NFT. I'm like, okay, so there's an unlimited amount of these things because they're being generated by AI. So you're just buying a generated a GIF.
Yeah. Well said.
And they sold out. How do you sell out of something that's not real? I don't even...
It was hot at the time. NFTs died off really quickly.
Yeah. Okay, so here we go, everybody. Rock and roll.
Whoa.
Yes, I wanted to start on this shot. So, Ben did leap. He leaped into the body of a woman. Bum, bum, bum.
I wonder what gave it away. I think it was the sleeve off of the shoulder thing.
Yeah, either that or he's in a gay bar. One of the two. So this guy is instantly, this creep with the shirt down and the gold chains, like, hey, babe, let me buy you a drink, babe.
I wish that they could pull off the true belligerent drunk. Like, you never go, that guy doesn't really exist in a bar. Like once in a really great while, you'll get like a guy who's so drunk he talks like that. But anybody hitting on a woman, even though it may come across creepy, isn't usually that
right.
Like
right.
that.
Yeah, let me buy you a drink, you whore. So that's what Ben actually looks like right now, and he's in the body of this woman.
He probably turned and looked at the mirror and went, "I'm hot."
Oh, look! Damn. Okay.
Addison, move over.
Here we go. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I think the first thing I would do is go investigate in the bathroom to see what I'm working with. I'm just.
Why did you say that?
I'm gonna be real honest. I'm just like, that's the first thing I would do. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm in the body. Let me just see what I'm working with here. Also, I wouldn't be mean to this guy. I would rob him of all of his money.
This is not about how Brian would be a girl. Okay?
I would be the best girl. I would rob everyone, and they would love me for it. I would have a simp army worshiping at my feet.
This is why you weren't born a girl.
This is why.
You would have abused it.
I would have abused the power of the womanhood. 100%. Ben does not abuse it, by the way. He kicks the guy to the curb, throws a drink in his face. Addison shows up, and she's laughing because in the first 3 minutes of him being a woman, he was attacked physically, emotionally, and sexually. So
nice.
I thought that was a fun line.
I mean, her smile there is really genuine.
Yeah. Yeah.
She really dug that.
So he closes his tab to get his name. And, another creep shows up. Oh, but wait. It's not a creep. It's actually Stephen Amell. It's the Green Arrow. I'm kidding. Sorry. The actor played the Green Arrow in Smallville.
Oh, I see. I got you.
Anyways, he's like, hey, I know you have a taser. I bought it for you. Okay, so they're clearly dating. And he goes, and she points out the guy that was creeping on her. Ben points out the guy who was creeping on him. And they find out that is their that's their mark. That's their what is it called? Their skip, right? He skipped out on their bail. All right, so the first upvote for me is going to go to the first scene of the first opening round of scenes here. Great, really well done, quickly to the point, had jokes, it established itself right away. I loved it, and it didn't make some overtly political statement. It was subtle and quick.
I'm not quite ready to give it an upvote, but I will say that it was a satisfactory beginning to the episode.
Right. Again, now I'm going to give him a downvote. It's not realistic. Why would he not immediately go to a mirror and see what I'm kidding. All right. So so Ben has jumped into the body of a female bounty hunter who also happens to be dating Stephen Amell,
who is also a male bounty hunter, I guess.
I guess he's like a temporary bounty hunter because I guess like they're dating, but he doesn't. He's not planning on staying in life, and so there's some personal issues going on, that we explore later on. They get back to their shop. I'm gonna give you another upvote because I love this setting. Like this looks like so. It looks like the time period, bro.
Yeah, that's a good job. I mean, it is a small look in on the set, so not a difficult one to like set up to give you that. But yeah, it's nice for sure.
It reminds me of the Orange Circle, and they had like the neon bail bonds. It's I don't know. So I grew up in an area that really cared about its history, and over the last 20 years, they've stopped caring. And it's become modern. But when I was young, I used to be able to go to places that looked like Back to the Future, 1955, where they had soda shops and like entire city blocks worth of Old Town Orange. And it was gorgeous. So every time I see this kind of setting, I really missed that because that was a staple of my childhood. So the door's open. So they're like, wait a minute. The door's open. I need to go investigate.
Yeah, so just a note that thanks for the note over here from Archmage. That actor's name is Justin Hartley.
Am I saving the wrong name?
You're saying Stephen Amell.
Oh my god, I'm using the Green Arrow from the CW, aren't I?
Yeah, but that's okay.
I'm sorry. Justin Hartley did play Green Arrow in Supernatural. I mixed up the two Green Arrow teenage heartthrobs. I'm sorry, not Supernatural. Smallville. Damn it. What's wrong with me today?
Well, in all fairness, your brain's been working very hard lately, so it's all right.
So Justin Hartley played Green Arrow in Smallville, not Supernatural. And Stephen Amell played Green Arrow in the CW Arrowverse show called Arrow.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. I don't know why I kept saying the wrong name. I appreciate Archmage keeping me honest, bro. All right, so Jen's like, I'm not going to wait here. I'm sorry, Ben's like, I'm not going to wait here. So he decides to go inside. And the first thing he sees is his now possible fiance on his knees with a ring. Marry me.
This gets my first upvote.
Yeah.
And really, just because it's an incredibly difficult position to be in. You're Ben. You don't know anything about this girl that you're inside of. And now the dude's, I was trying to think, like, what would be the most awkward position to be in next to, like, him wanting to have, like, relations.
Right. Full-blown intercourse. Like,
deal with that.
come on, baby, it's my birthday.
Right. That would be number one.
Damn it.
And then number two is, oh, am I going to ruin this person's life right now by saying yes or no or whatever? So.
Yeah, I like how measured he is with his response. He's not trying to like make a decision for her. But I feel like I would have just been like, oh yeah, okay, sure, yeah. You know, like just to make it less awkward, because like your job is basically to get your like you need to get that one skip and bleep out. It's like maybe like that's what you need to focus on and not focus on this like side relationship. But because that's Ben, he can't do that. He's got to take care of everyone.
He can't help. Yeah, he tries to help everybody. Good point.
Yeah. By the way, the new title card is really cool.
Yeah.
I still miss the we didn't see it this episode where they do like the longer intro. By the way.
Oh, I wonder if they're going to do that where they have the abbreviated one. That's a good point because they did not do the long explanation.
Yeah, they didn't do it this time. They did it the first 3 episodes, not this episode. I mean, I'd be fine either way, you know. So he basically says, you know, I got to think about it. His dad comes out. Apparently, also loves his daughter very much. Also a bounty hunter for bail bonds company. And goes, "Are we popping champagne?" Apparently not, because Jen said maybe, or Ben said maybe not. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he's obviously hurt. I mean, and listen, any dude would be hurt if he heard I need more time, because that basically means I'm unsure, and you don't want to hear that as a guy when you've just put it all on the line.
Yeah, especially when you're as good looking as Justin Hartley. I'm just saying, like, you probably have options, right?
Probably, yeah. But his heart belongs to Ben. So
yeah, I love this. The fact that Addison's in the back seat watching this awkwardness just take place. It's got to be fun.
Got to be weird.
Yeah. I mean, I love awkward comedy. So, like, I'm a big fan of that style of comedy.
Yeah.
So there was a lot to glean from this episode as far as laughs go.
This is actually a really nice scene here. There's a throwback to the original series where Jen here actually talks about pantyhose. And if you recall back to when Sam leapt into a woman, he had to wear pantyhose and had trouble putting them on. And so she said, you know, at least he doesn't have to wear pantyhose, which I thought was a really cool throwback to the original series.
As someone who's put pantyhose on, it is hard to put them on. And they don't want to stay up.
You need to explain that better.
I dressed as a woman on Halloween once, and it was very difficult to keep the leggings up on my legs.
That's better. Okay.
Yeah.
We need to take this moment here
to be fair, I had a full beard. It wasn't like I was trying to actually pass.
So there are some women who do keep the full beard. And speaking of this situation here, we've got Ian Wright, this character here, played by Mason Alexander Park, who is a non-binary human being in real life and playing a non-binary character. I still haven't quite figured out if this person is trans or how this works, but they had an opportunity here to really like hit the hammer on the head. You mentioned it to me when we talked earlier, but they didn't. It was lightly addressed, like him being in a woman,
right?
And then Ian had this kind of quippy joke about, "Oh, great, the one time I got to be at work and I don't get to participate in this stuff." So that was kind of like a little bit of a recognition of this person's sexuality. Yeah, but it like zoomed right by it really quickly.
Yes, and it's an upvote for me because it's exactly how it would be when you're at work. You're not going to sit there and discuss your sexuality the whole time.
Right. And I want to upvote as well, not just for that, but also for the fact that this entire episode, there's a lot of shows out there who would have taken the opportunity in this episode to explore the trans situation. Okay. Because prime example, you've got Ben, a man in the body of a woman. Now, what is trans? That's people who say that they're a person trapped in the opposite sexuality. This would have been a perfect time to like illustrate that and highlight it and beat us over the head with it and like really go into depth on it to teach everyone, because a lot of these shows are trying to do that now. Instead, they just let it play for what it was. They didn't beat us over the head with a message.
Yeah.
And if you're like us, who's frustrated by this with a lot of shows these days, then you really should be embracing Quantum Leap, because Quantum Leap is just telling it like they always have. They've embraced the old style of telling stories. They're not, they're not on message about things. And frankly speaking, I know we haven't brought it up now. If you guys haven't gone to Rotten Tomatoes, if you're enjoying this show, it's getting a terrible score on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Because the viewers initially didn't like the fact that Scott Bakula was going to be on the show, and they started downvoting it. But if you like the show, it would behoove you and all of us who want to see more Quantum Leap to go and give a positive review and to get those numbers climbing up. Because at the end of this thing, I want to say, Scott Bakula, you need to find a way back into the show.
Yeah, and you know what? It frankly deserves it, because it's sad to say that this show is actually taking a risk by being a traditional storytelling medium.
Right. It's not embracing the new style. Yeah.
Right. It's taking a risk. And we all complain about it. We all want the traditional storytelling. We're asking for it every single show. Well, we need to support it when it does it. And the fact that people are giving it bad reviews because it doesn't have your favorite actor is not really reasonable. The review is about the show, not what actor is in it or not. You need to look at the show and be like, oh, okay, well, you know what? They're actually giving us a Quantum Leap show with traditional storytelling, and they're telling a story about characters with this premise, and it works. The reviews should be about that and not about the fact that there's an actor not in the show, even if it is Scott Bakula. Honestly.
Right, and we were just as disappointed as everybody else in the beginning, but we gave it a chance, and now it's delivered, or it's delivering.
It's delivering. Yeah, currently delivering. All right, we're back in the past. Gonna go back in time.
Okay.
And I'm so tired right now, guys. They're looking for their skip. It's a lady that didn't show up for court because she have an abundance of traffic tickets. How does someone get a bench warrant off of traffic tickets? You have to have a lot of unpaid pay.
You get enough of them, yeah, it happens.
Really?
Oh yeah, yeah. You can have enough that you actually, they're like, okay, this person owes so much money, we got to get them.
Interesting, because I've had like 2 or 3 tickets at the same time, and they never turn into bench warrants. I guess they got to be pretty. You got to have a bunch, and you got to be like, blatantly ignoring them, I suppose.
Right. You'd have to really be, I think, late on them, to the point of like you've been told enough times, and now you need to come to jail till you make it right.
Well, to be honest, pro tip for you, all you guys out there, 10 days in jail is worth about $10,000 when it comes to the ticket system, or at least it used to be, because I had $10,000 of fines for, this is back when I was real young, driving unsuspended license, parking tickets, speeding tickets, all kinds of traffic-related infractions. I had about $10,000 worth. I got arrested with one of my friends that was doing something stupid, and I spent 10 days in jail awaiting my court date. Now, I got innocent because I didn't do anything wrong, but because of the 10 days I spent in jail, they cleared a little over $9,000 of parking tickets.
Right. Yeah. So now we know a little more about Brian. So let's go.
Dude, it allowed me to get my driver's license back, and I have not had a ticket since. I'm just saying.
So these people would have been looking for you. That's what you're saying.
Yes, they would have been looking for me, 100%.
Just making sure. Yeah.
It's been 24 years, and I haven't had 22 years, and I haven't had tickets. So,
like when they showed up, you got a little bit of PTSD. Like,
I'm like, that bounty hunters are here again. Yeah, but if you ever want to like save money, just spend a couple days in jail. No big deal.
All right.
It's not even that hard. Trust me.
I hear the food's good.
It's not bad. But then again, I can eat pretty much anything. So you get this sort of benign person. Like, it's just she missed her date. She thought it was next week. It's not. Another upvote for me because this actress had me fooled the whole time.
Okay, that's pretty good. I mean, I didn't realize who she would end up becoming. That's a good point.
I got no foreshadowing of this character. I thought she was just a ditzy Skip.
Yeah, so she played it well.
Yeah, a Skip is someone who skips at their court date. I wanted to be a bounty hunter so bad when I was younger. It's not even funny.
You watched some Dog the Bounty Hunter and was like,
no.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? What turned me off to being a bounty hunter was watching Dog the Bounty Hunter. I'm like, oh, that's a crappy job. Like this.
So wait, what got you excited about being a bounty hunter?
Watching movies like Gone in 60 Seconds and
I see.
And Tuscan Nights, and like there's a lot of movies out there about bounty hunters that are cool. So I grew up watching those movies and wanted to do it. Then I watched the reality show version with Dog the Bounty Hunter, this guy who's perpetually just sunburnt and rocking bear mace.
Right,
like,
right.
Listen, brother, have you gone to church recently? I'm like, what are you doing, man? I don't understand. Like, Dog the Bounty Hunter is so violent with someone. He beats the crap out of someone, drags them in the car, and he goes, okay, brother, let's talk. Why are you in this situation? Like, I'm sorry. You just beat me up, son. You can't cancel me now. Take me to jail or not. Right. But you can't. Are you bipolar? How do you go from being the most violent sociopath around to being like a youth pastor? Like, I don't get it.
He needs another angle, brother.
And he was the best of the best. And I was like, oh, if that's the best, then.
Well, he's the most interesting to put on TV.
I guess you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And his whole family is just a bunch of nut jobs.
You got to be a little crazy to be a bounty hunter.
They have a license to carry weapons and invade people's homes. Like, that's insane.
Yeah, they're out there.
Yeah.
Well, these guys are nice bounty hunters, though. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So the cartel is there. The Serpentine cartel is there to get her because her boyfriend is a coke dealer and something. I don't know.
Or so we suspect.
Or so we suspect. That's the story we're being told right now. I love what he says too. He goes, "Listen, no one that's your friend needs to break into your house."
That's right.
I mean, he's got a good point.
Yeah, true. So I thought was interesting here is the fact that they shot at the car. Later on, I'm going to be like, why did they do that? Yeah, this is a little bit. This is almost downvotable for me.
Yeah, because they could have shot her, and us knowing now that she's the actual head of the cartel.
I think they wanted us to believe that she was in danger, but they also to continue fooling us. But at the same time, they wanted to give something believable. So if they shot the tires, maybe they thought they were stealing her, right? Maybe they were kidnapping her. So they're going to shoot out the tires. So I could see that. But boy, not a good idea to shoot at someone, especially your boss, when they're in a car.
Yeah. First rule of gun range is you don't go down range when someone's pointing a weapon. Like, I don't care how good of a shot that person is, or how controlled they are, or how much of a pro they are. Like, you don't ever want to be down barrel of a weapon. Like, period, the end.
Yep, it's true.
All right. All right, so now this girl is trying to help Ben and his possible fiance because they're obviously having some trouble. It's funny. It's not worth an upvote or a downvote, but it is funny.
I mean, it's not hilarious, but it is.
It's
funny.
like just chuckle. It's like I'm giving a little chuckle the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, because you guys understand the absurdity of it. Like, Ben is a man from the future in this body, and he's dealing with this needy fiance who feels hurt, and from his perspective, a crazy ditzy club girl with a coke habit.
Yeah, I would have appreciated a little bit more uncomfortableness for him, like a couple of maybe kiss attempts or something awkward, a little more awkward for him to deal with. Sam had to deal with a bunch of that. Sam had to deal with a 9-to-5 situation where the boss was like chasing him around the.
I know it's one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah, and so it would have been cool.
And that episode when he goes, "I'm actually a man, baby." Yeah. And he's like, and again, and the boss in that episode has the most drawn out. Like, you could never do this in modern day TV. He's like, What? No.
Right, right.
No. It's like it's so overacted. It's the best.
Yeah, I think they did miss a couple of opportunities here to really give us to make us feel some more emotion about him being in a girl. You almost forget he's in a girl for a while.
Yeah, I agree with that. You know, they should have had Justin Hartley's character pat him on the butt, or
something. Yeah, they needed a little bit of that.
I don't know how far you can go, but I tell you this, in the time, look, it's 2022 and I still pat my wife's rear end. So I'm sure in this time period, that's a normal thing for you to do with your significant other, right?
Or even just put his hand on his butt.
Yeah.
Not even to pat it weirdly, but just you're putting your arm around somebody, or, when you're obviously the person that belongs to you.
Right.
So
pull him in and a little embrace.
Yeah. Like a really close embrace, they do a hug later, but it's really not even that cringy, I think.
No, it's not. Yeah, there should have been. You're right. You're totally right. I'm gonna apply a downvote to this episode.
Thank you.
Because there was a miss for comedy here. There was chances for you to really amp up the comedy, and have him try to squeal his way out of all these uncomfortable situations that you didn't give us.
I was waiting for that actually. So
yeah. All right, back to the present. No, it's important.
She finally breaks the news. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she learns that Ben lied 6 months ago about where he was.
Right.
We find out Ben was not where he was supposed to be. He was in Caltech, probably with Janice. And she just says, well, he's a good man, I know. So.
Yeah, I've been to Caltech. No one wants to go there.
Okay.
All right, back in the past, he handcuffs the Skip, and they're talking about their relationship. This is one of those moments, by the way, you could have had Justin Hartley stand up, put his hand gingerly up his listen, babe, whatever. Right. It should have been something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There could have been more. She's giving advice on the relationship here,
right?
So he handcuffs her and then handcuffs her further down.
Right, so she would make less noise.
Right.
Yeah, I thought that was sort of funny. And then she gets away or whatever, and she's running away. I like fiance's idea. He's like, you know what? Let's just let her.
See you later. I'll give your dad the $500. So they obviously work. The dad must be the bail bond guy.
Yeah.
So
what time frame is this again? It's 1981. 81, and there's a shop right there called Angelino's Lingerie, European, Oriental, Transsexual, Bisexual Fetish. Was that a common thing in 19?
No, it wasn't. That's interesting. That's probably something that is still there.
Interesting.
That's interesting. Yeah, good catch on that. It does. It says transsexual, bisexual, fetish. You probably wouldn't have had those things on there. You probably would have had some other stuff.
You mean if it was like a I'm sorry. You mean if it was like a sex shop or whatever?
Angeline's Lingerie.
I want to know now. I'm looking it up too.
Los Angeles. There is a place called Angeline Lingerie. Huh. Actually, I don't know. I don't see anything here.
Neither do I.
So it must not be. It must be for the show. It's interesting that they put that there. I don't know if, maybe there was something to that back in the day. Might be. I don't know. Maybe they wouldn't have called it that, though, I think.
Yeah, I don't think they would have. I think that was I think the B and the T weren't really around very much back then.
Well, there was. They called them. They called them. I think at the time they called them trannies. I believe.
I guess that's what stands for transsexual.
Transsexual. But I don't know if they would have put that either. To be honest with you, they might have just put. I don't know what they would have put. I don't know. 81. I was 8 years old and I wasn't looking at these types of things.
That's true. That's fair. I was really into fetish stuff when I was 8 years old, guys. All right. So they decide that she's going to go after her because apparently Ben can't leap unless they catch the Skip.
That's right.
Which is awkward.
He has to make her court date, is what they said. Yeah.
Right. Apparently, and that should have been the first clue, by the way. Why is she so important?
This is another upvote for me.
Yep, upvote for me too.
So Magic got Ian out of the office to have a conversation about something that was going to be in his file, because Ian needs to look at the files in order to be able to stop Janice from what she's doing. So Magic decides he's going to share with Ian his story. And this is wonderful because he basically shares the story of when Sam jumped into him during Vietnam and saved his entire platoon. And we get to address it. We get to address, this is the first time we ever get to see what a person who's been leapt into experiences after the leap is done.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And it was pretty cool that he had dreams about Sam, and the entire reason that he joined Quantum Leap, he finds out later that his whole team should have died, right? Which we knew.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why he joins Quantum Leap, because he wants to help bring Sam home. That's cool.
As a thank you, as penance. That's cool.
Well, exactly. He's there to bring Sam home. Listen, this show is doing what we wanted, what the fans wanted. We want Sam to come home. Okay, that's what we wanted him in the show for. Listen, Scott Bakula, I don't know if you watch videos on YouTube or not.
You're like, what is this YouTube?
But let me tell you, you're not working right now, buddy. Okay, you need to swallow whatever pride you have, or change whatever heart you have, because this show is honoring your legacy.
It is.
You need to find a way back here. Maybe it's already happening. I don't know. You need to find a way to this show, because they need to bring you home, and you need to let them bring you home.
Yeah.
Okay. We need you to come home.
Yeah. For the fans, the fans need to see Sam's story button up. 100%.
Yeah. That's the main storyline. I'll be honest with you. This show's good, but I don't know how good it would be if we didn't have the storyline of trying to get to Sam, and Ben trying to get to Sam, what we believe is happening. I don't know if it would be as interesting without all those things. Like the leaps within themselves, to me, almost feel like a side story to what we're really trying to do.
Right. It's a Freak of the Week part.
Yeah. So it used to be, when we had the original Quantum Leap, that was the show. Like every episode was what was happening on the leap. For me, that's almost like a side benefit, and it doesn't play as an important a role as finding out these things that are happening behind the scenes. That's really what I'm latching onto every episode.
Right.
So, well done. Scott needs to come back at some point.
Yeah, I agree. And I also love that this guy's life and his entire platoon was saved, and he used the juice that he got from saving that to then work his way up into the system so he can pay it back. That shows his character too.
Yeah, I need to get my upvote, by the way.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry, bro. That is awesome. And it's also, and it makes sense that he wanted to share that with Ian, so that Ian just didn't see that as type on paper. He wanted to see
that. It shows that they're a team.
Right.
And he wanted to share his feelings on it, so that was good.
That's awesome.
We get a little flashback here.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's great. All right. Let's move past this point. Really good stuff. It would be really nice to get Scott back.
It really would be.
And you know what? They might be gearing up. It might be a by season 3 kind of thing. It could be later on down the road. As long as it happens, I'm okay with this playing out for a couple seasons and us getting to that point. Like that needs to happen though. In order for this show to stand on its own outside of Sam, we need to finish Sam's story.
Okay. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
My opinion. All right. What's next? Ben's casually lockpicking. I like that. Okay.
He knows how to lockpick.
And so they go to her boyfriend's club.
Yes.
And that's when they realize. Dun, dun, dun.
I'll give my upvote now. She's the one in charge. She's the...
Boom.
She's the cartel.
She is the cartel.
Now, I don't know how realistic that is for 1981, but,
Well, I mean, if you ever watch Queen of the South, apparently it's pretty it's definitely doable. You know, there was heads of families back then that were ran by women in the South. So
yeah, but I don't know about the Mexican cartel.
Right.
So, but you know what? Not
Whatever.
that big of a deal. It was a nice twist.
And it shows on
what happens when you when you're telling a good story. When you make mistakes, it just flows off our backs. When you start making a whole bunch of mistakes, then we start locking into things like this.
Right. Yeah, we'd be like all over it if it was like if we were having a bad time. Like, oh, okay, how does this make sense?
Right. If this was Rings of Power, I'd be like, oh, hold on a second. You know?
Right. So she shoots that dude, and they're like, we gotta go. So she's a baddie. She's a
bad person.
She killed that person in cold blood. Guy was tied up. They shoot at them, and they have a heart-to-heart, blah, blah. Okay, so there's one thing you need to know. So Addison does tell Ben, like, look, here's how it works. Here's how it worked in the future. You know, fiance moved to Indiana, and you stayed here to help your dad run the bounty hunter shop. So they didn't get together.
Right.
Right. So her dad.
Okay. So real quick though,
Yeah.
we missed the part about shoot, go back one more.
What part? Tell me.
I can't remember now. Anyways, we missed something though that we should have talked about.
So there is a part though where he's remembering that he had a girlfriend.
Yes, that's the part. That's the part we need to talk about. Yeah. So he remembers it's Addison.
I was about to get there because the father says, you know, sometimes it's right in front of you, right?
Yeah. So that's what we're about to see. Yeah.
Right.
And they got a mistake out of this. It's good and it's bad what happened.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right.
When we get there, I'll talk about it.
All right.
They find her. She's in the, you know, the dad basically tells them where she's going to be, blah, blah, blah. Another heart to heart.
Yeah. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Let me know when to stop, bro.
Well, they're going to do the little thing here where they get the case, you know, they basically stop her.
Yeah. They stop her because the case is made out of metal and they use the taser on the metal and it shocks her or whatever.
Yeah. Then everybody, you know, I think it's hilarious. Like how many people in a place like that would like, if the money were out and like in a suitcase fell out, do you think all those people would really run up and steal somebody's money like that on the floor? Like right next to the suitcase?
I would.
Would you?
100%.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
But I've been poor the majority of my life, so, you know.
We balance each other out well. That's
yeah. You'd be like, Brian, no, don't do that. Stop it.
Belongs to someone else.
It belongs to someone else. but there's money on the floor.
It's once it hits the floor, it's free game to everybody.
Yeah, it's free.
It doesn't matter if it falls out. Like somebody drops their wallet and like coins go sliding.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's mine.
Yeah, facts. And you can punch them in the face if you want to get more coins. You can now once they drop their money, now they can be mugged. Legally.
Got it. Yes. Now it's legal. Yeah.
Okay, so they arrest the Skip, and so Ben is gonna get his chance to jump. They go back to the future. Not important. Okay, so this is the part that's important.
Yes.
So he realizes, because of what the dad said, sometimes right in front of you, he realizes that Addison is the girl he's been dreaming of.
Right. See, now this is cool. They finally got to a moment. It was very emotional, but it would have been great if he would have leapt just as he told her that he realized it.
Yes.
See, that's what the previous Quantum Leap did so well.
Right.
When he would have some sort of realization, he would leap before it could be addressed. Now we've had closure on this emotion. It really changes the show for us a little bit. It would have been better to stretch this on because remember, Sam had Swiss cheese every episode. He didn't remember everything that happened from the time before. So it would have been cool to stretch this revelation out a little bit, I think, because now next leap is going to be a little weird. It's going to be a little different.
So they tried to touch each other's hands, but she's a hologram.
Yeah.
And then he jumps into the Old West.
Okay, so this is like way outside of his lifetime. You need tons of power, right?
Yeah, so how does this work? Is this that slingshot nonsense?
I think we're going to learn something about Janice being involved with this leap.
Oh, good idea, bro.
It's got to be something like that because he just leapt back way too far. He's like literally like early 1900s to late 1800s.
Yeah. This shouldn't be possible within the current like frame, right? The way we know it. Yeah. Or it had something to do with that slingshot thing they were doing. I don't know. Either way, I gotta tell you, this definitely hooked me for next week.
Yeah, I mean, they keep unraveling it a little bit for us and kind of showing us what's coming. And I just feel like we're getting. I know it's going to be a while before we get to Sam,
right?
But we're going to keep learning things as we go. We didn't get any Janice this episode, which was probably a good thing because we got a lot of Janice the last one.
Mm-hmm.
But they did say that Janice is trying to basically figure out what they're going to do, the probability of what the team is going to do now, so that she can figure out what she needs to do. That's what she was actually doing with Ziggy. So I think it's important. But overall good episode, and it's just heading in the right direction for me.
Yes, I agree. Also, so our final score here, it looks like it's a solid 5. And we have some members chats and Orville Nation super chat. Very well said, Shane. I'm not even sure what you're talking about, but I appreciate that. Thank you for super chat.
I think it was about the whole Scott Bakula.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was very well said. So
thank you.
If I could super chat you, I would. Can I super chat myself?
Thank you for the super chat.
I'm going to try to super chat myself.
I like that. I don't know if you make any money, although you do give YouTube some. So that's kind of
cool. Snaps. I can super chat myself.
Well, awesome. You just gave YouTube 40 cents.
Yeah. Well,
no, wait, I think 80 cents. Yeah.
Whatever. Now, though, I can use this to troll you because we have to read super chats, right?
Right.
Now I can type something and make you read it.
I love it. Okay. All right. Fair enough.
What else we got? We got that would be a season finale mind blown level. Yeah. So what if we had an episode where Ben leaps into the pre-quantum leap Project Sam, who is briefly shown right in the de-aged reflection?
Damn. That would be hot.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah. So I would love that. If they do that, that would be like the episode of Enterprise where they're on board, of DS9 when they go to the TOS Enterprise. Remember that?
Yeah. I love Troubles with Tribbles.
Yeah.
Or no, Trials and Tribulations. One of the two. Some of the Tribbles. Yeah, listen, this would be super rad. But I keep saying, what if their goal is to leap into Sam and stop him from leaping in the first place? What if he legitimately thinks that he's saving Sam's life, and she thinks that she's going to get her dad back, but in reality,
no, not her dad. Al's dead.
And I'm not get him back, but like get the time with him back.
Oh, I see.
Because she did complain multiple times how he was so preoccupied with saving Sam.
Oh, to stop it from ever happening in the first place, right? That's true. Yeah,
but I can see that. But they're not looking at the ripples of what would happen if that happened.
No, and I think that would make a good story arc. So
maybe she is. Maybe she's using Ziggy to try to shore up those ripples so she can get what she wants and not suffer the consequences.
I think it's one of two things. I think it's either the location that we saw a couple episodes was they're either trying to get to a point before Sam leapt to stop him from doing it, or they're trying to get to the bar where Sam leapt at the in the final episode. And that I think there's some assumption that that's where he is. So one of the two.
Interesting.
Thank you, Chris.
Chris sent $2 to even it out. Thanks, brother. YouTube's like, okay, keep doing it, guys.
Hey, this works for us.
YouTube takes like 40% of everything. I'm wondering if the fact that he leaped so far back, they'll have trouble connecting to him via hologram, and Janice will slip in.
Ooh, I could see that. Yeah, maybe she did that on purpose so that she could have more access.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah, maybe in this episode, they can't reach him, but she can.
Right.
because you're not going to be able to have Addison and Janice there at the same time.
Right.
It's not going to work out. So maybe this is going to be, this makes next week really interesting because we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's coming.
And they said, I think the ultimate lead point is going to be the bar. Yeah, maybe you're right.
I
never liked the supernatural aspect of that last season, to be honest.
I mean, the problem is that was, I get you, but like that was for the whole premise from the beginning. Like they didn't know, then they started to realize something's leaping him around. That's kind of what they went with,
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't like that part.
I got you.
Anyways, that's it. Solid score. Rocking a 5. That's great. If you know anything about our score systems, 5 is pretty dang good. 10 is pretty much the best it's ever been. And I think -6 is the worst it's ever been. So 5 is pretty damn solid. So, are you stoked about next week's episode? Are you going to tune in? If you are and you want to watch this review with us in the members section, then hit the link in the very top of the description and go to the members section, and we'll be here next Tuesday for the live review.
Yes.
Okay, that said, if you're not doing that, then at the very least, hit the comment section and let us know what you guys thought about this episode, and what are you doing? Are you going to review it on Rotten Tomatoes? Are you digging the whole season so far? Have a conversation in the comment section below and hit the subscribe button on the way there. Thank you so much. We love your faces, and we'll see you